Beauty Supply, beauty, power, and style. Power and style. Tanisha's Beauty Supply, beauty, power, and style. Power and style. Got whatever you need.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm on a night drive leaving my beauty supply store in Michigan on my way back home. My store is not in the same state that I live in. I'm going to take you along with me on this ride. I wanted to share with you an experience that I had. It was a really hurtful experience. I was scammed out of $1,100, and I wanted to bring the information and the experience to you so that this won't happen to you. The scenario went like this. There was a young lady who was in the same building as I am, and she owned a business, a shoe store in the building. And she came to me and said, you know, I do wholesale. I bring supplies back from Atlanta to beauty supply store owners, and I could bring you some supplies. And I come all the time. I go back and forth. I come all the time. And so I said, oh, wow. I was excited. First of all, I was excited to support an African American. That's close to my heart. Supporting Black people is very close to my heart. I was really excited about that. And there were some products that I had been wanting and trying to get, and I, either couldn't get them, or it was just, I needed more of them, more than what I was getting. So when I named the products and she said she could get them and she quoted me this really good price, I was like, yes, got excited. So my first brain did say, okay, well, before you place this order, how do you know she's going to bring this merchandise back? Can you trust her? Because I was looking on the web, for a website, and there was no website to the person that she said that the inventory would be coming from. There was no website. So I said, well, where's the website from the person, you said the inventory is coming from? And she said, well, they don't have a website. So my brain is like, red flags. But I didn't listen to the red flags. I overrode the red flags because I was excited about these particular brands that were hard to get. And she assured me, I'm going to make sure you get your stuff. I've been doing this for years. And she sounded really convincing, right? Where I really overrode my first mind was with this. Well, she's in the same building that I'm in. So if I'm not seeing my stuff, I can just walk down the hall and talk to her about it, right? Right. So next mistake. So first mistake was I overrode my gut feeling. That was the first mistake. The next mistake was I placed a huge order on my first go round because the products that I wanted, they go fast. And when they sell out, even the distributor, even the manufacturers are out, and they're out for months at a time. When they said they had it, I got excited. Now, let me order. I'm going to order, 8 cases of this. And second mistake. When you're dealing with a new vendor, never place a large order. Place the smallest order you possibly can when you're dealing with a new vendor, because if they rip you off, you would rather them rip you off for $100 or $200 versus $1,100. So that was my second mistake. I'm waiting for the stuff to come back, and then she texts me and says, well, my mother or some relative or something has had, some kind of they died or something like that. So I'm not thinking this is a scam. And I'm, oh man, oh my God, okay, I understand. She's supposed to be in Atlanta, bringing my stuff back. She's got my money, so she's supposed to be bringing my stuff back. Some relative supposedly died, right? So then she texts again after some days, some other excuse about she went to pick up the items, but the distributor or the guy she's working with, he gave me the wrong cream or the wrong edge control. And I said, she said he gave me the light. He put the light edge control in my order instead of the regular. I said, well, send it. So now I'm starting to feel very uneasy because it's been 2 or 3 weeks and I haven't seen any product. I haven't gotten my money back. So I said, well, just can you send me a picture of my order? Because you say you have my order, but he's got the wrong. Send me a picture of my order. Never sends the picture. One of her excuses early on too was that her assistant had run off with her order. So after about the third excuse, I knew I had gotten scammed. And it was a sickening feeling because, as you all know, being in the beauty supply industry is brutal. It is so difficult. It is so hard. And the money that you're making, you're putting it right back into your business, and you need every dollar. You don't have, any kind of money. You don't even have $40 to throw away, because $40 can turn into $60 in the type of business that we're in. I knew I'd gotten scammed. It was a sickening feeling. It just really, it felt, it was a great loss. I could feel it in my gut. But the only thing that I consoled myself with was, Tanisha, it's better to learn it at an $1,100 level than an $11,000 level, than a $1.1 million level. You got to learn these things now. So I just rehearsed over and over again what not to do when I'm dealing with vendors. So those are the things that I shared with you. Some of the things, if you haven't been scammed yet, first of all, when someone comes to you off the street saying they can get you stuff wholesale, don't automatically trust it. Even websites that say they're wholesale, don't automatically trust it. And if you are going to take a dive and you are going to trust it, maybe you should listen to like more YouTube channels and videos to listen to people who have dealt with these vendors. Look up information to see if this is actually true. That's just some information to look out for. Never place a large order at first. Check to see if they have a website, what it looks like, reviews that they may have. Their social media, like her Instagram, I checked it later after the fact, but it were like no posts. It was under Soul City, and there were no posts on the Instagram. She had no followers. So it was just some red flags there that I let go over my head. But they did send an invoice. When I sent the money, they sent an invoice, but there was no pertinent information on the invoice, such as an address. You just want to be careful. And the higher you get in this beauty supply industry, in business anyway, business period, you are going to encounter some scamming. You are going to encounter some theft. You are not going to be a millionaire in business who has never been taken advantage of. That does not happen. All you can do is minimize how much you are, stolen from. You can't eliminate it, but you can minimize it. I just wanted to share that with you. It was embarrassing. People will ask, well, why would you trust somebody like that? If you have good characteristics about yourself, such as, I really want to help my people in this business, someone like that will see your strength and use it against you. It's a strength to want to help your people. It's a strength to want to help your race. It's a strength to be, excited about helping your race and really working with your race. But there are people within your race who will see that about you and they will use it against you. If you do get scammed, don't beat yourself up about it. Use it as a lesson, because Walmart, KFC, universities, all kinds of multi-million-dollar businesses have been stolen from. There are no businesses that have made it that have not experienced theft. So you will one day experience it. If you grow big enough, you will. But when you do experience it, just set up a system as to how you can avoid it or minimize it the next time. Well, I just wanted to share that with you. If you want to continue to get tips and hear content that might be helpful to your beauty supply business, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get updates as to when I'm bringing content. I'm going to really be just sharing with you my entire journey inside of being a Black-owned beauty supply store owner. I love it. It has way more ups than downs, but there are some downs, and one of the downs is, or the disadvantages is, people will steal from you sometimes. People will scam you sometimes. Everybody is not to be trusted. Hopefully that helps you avoid getting scammed. If you have been scammed, please put it in the comments, share it with us so we can be on the lookout for anybody who might be posting scams or doing scams or telling you things and you find out they're not true. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. I would like to add, for those who might ask, when it came to the young woman who scammed me, with her having a store down the hall, well, why didn't you just go down the hall and talk to her? Well, she not only scammed me, but she also scammed the owners of the property, the building, because I went down the hall to talk to her. After about 2 weeks or so, there was a notice on her door where she had written like a $2,500 bad check to these people. So she had only had her shoe store in the plaza for only like 2 months. It appeared that her whole business was just a scam, just, I don't know, a way to get in and make some quick cash and get out without paying anybody. I guess my biggest security was, hey, if I need to talk to her, she's right down the hall. But when I did go to approach her and talk to her, or somebody, whoever was in the store, there was nobody to talk to because the doors were locked and she had been locked out. She had just basically ran off with the money. Just wanted to answer that question for anybody who might ask. And some people might ask, well, you could have filed legal paperwork, and I did file legal paperwork, but it's just not easy to recover money when you've been scammed like that. I know some small claims courts, they won't deal with cases that are under business names. They'll point you to a different court where you have to have an attorney. And although I had an attorney, I had my attorney send a letter. Come to find out, the letter that was on her bad check that was posted on the door was an address that did not exist. And this was a check from Wells Fargo, and it was a bad address. So all of these things just pointed to the fact that this was a person who had a lot of practice with scamming. Because how do you get a bank to print checks? Maybe it wasn't even a real check. I would think that they would have processes that could cross-check residences and addresses. And after they had taken off with the money, I went to look at the Gmail. That Gmail no longer was in existence. It was just a lot. This is what they do. They scam people. You can just take away what you can learn. People like that, they don't get far, especially African Americans, because when some of us do scam, we scam at a low level. We don't get the big bucks. We scam for the little stuff, and we scam until it catches up with us, and we end up holding very little that way. So I thought about it, said, well, you know what, scamming is not going to get her very far. I am going to be able to advance in my beauty supply store, my beauty supply business, but all she can do is continue to go find new people to scam, and you got to keep picking up and putting down roots every time you do something like that. People like that, they don't get far. So if someone has scammed you, just rest assured that they're very limited. If they would just live out their true potential of what they can be instead of scamming people, then they could end up building a great name for themselves. But instead, they're very limited. So don't stress yourself out with the fact that they got over on you and they scammed you, because they're not going anywhere far. going to catch up with them, especially in the African American community, because the amounts that they're scamming for is not anything that's going to change anybody's world. So I just wanted to share that with you, just in case you were wondering.